Hello.
Hello.
Do I call you Tones or Tony?
Tones. I can't even believe that this is my life sometimes. It's going #1 in so many countries.
Dance monkey.
Dance monkey.
Dance monkey.
For anyone that thinks that I'm like an overnight success, just doesn't know about like the hard yards I've already put in.
So they say,
I used to work at a surf shop on Burke Street, which is the really busiest part of Melbourne, and there was like you could busk on Burke Street. I really, really wanted to busk. I couldn't even play an instrument at this point. One of my friends was like, you should come to Byron because you can literally just park up and busk out of the side of your van. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. So I bought a van, moved to Byron Bay and started living in my van.
What was your impression of Byron Bay when you first got there?
I said, I don't think I'm going to fit in here. There's a lot of buskers in Byron, but it's very acoustic guitar. It's very like bohemian. So it was probably the first time anyone's pulled out a keyboard on the street, let alone like the drum pad, the synthesizers and the loop pedal and the harmonizers.
I stumbled across her when she was busking in Byron in September 2017. And it was the very first time she'd tried busking. I heard that and I said to my wife, like, whoa, that was pretty cool.
He gave me his card, said entertainment lawyer on it, and I said to him, I don't have any legal issues.
Tones was my first management client. She came and lived with me and my family for a while after there and worked out of my studio a lot in that first year while she was busking.
I'd go up every Monday, Tuesday and stay there, write music, go busk for the week. I was busking day. In the winter when no one else would busk, in the rain when no one else would be busking, I would be busking. And it wasn't about the money, it was about, no matter what, being able to get more fans. So there might be 20 people that night that would otherwise never know who I was.
When did it hit you that your busking was becoming a thing, that you were an attraction?
I know that there was a point where I realised if I had posted on my social media and said I was busking somewhere, people would come. Other buskers started getting angry at me. Some started a Facebook group and were like, we're going to run Tones out of town, like for no reason. They just hated how big the crowds were getting.
People don't walk past Tones. No one does. By the second song, there were always like 10, 20 people. By the fifth, the crowd was hectic. Every single time.
I love busking. There's so many good, amazing people on the street. It's the reason that I'm here. But there was one night that was very frustrating, and I wrote a song about that. People grab my hands and be like, you know, you stopped me dead in my tracks while I was walking by.
you know you stopped me dead while I was passing by.
Just sing one more song, just one more song. I'm just going to get my husband. I'm literally just repeating what people tell me. That's why if you replace dance with the word sing, it's just about me busking.
And now I beg to see you dance just one more day.
I always wanted to do a song with a bass drop chorus. I really like that song. It's like, you just want attention, you don't want mine. I loved how it was like boom, 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 boom. So I played some bass in, I kept that loop, I put the other loop down, I sang what I'd already written. It just felt so right. I wrote Dance Monkey in half an hour, and then it was done.
So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh.
Just watching her busk with it early on, people just loved it and were like, this is going to be a cracker, like a proper cracker.
You guys basically specialize in buskers at this point?
Essentially.
We just like working with buskers. That's the thing. We like working with people that want to create art and tour and make their life music, and buskers do that.
Did Tones have original music when you guys first made contact with her?
Yeah, absolutely. Johnny Run Away was the most developed demo, and that was the first release we put out.
Johnny run away, no, Johnny, no, Johnny run away, no, Johnny, no.
That caught a fire real quick in Australia, crossed over to commercial radio, which was huge.
In Australian terms, Johnny, it doesn't get any better than that for a debut.
Even though like my song was getting high rotation on like all the mainstream radios, that does nothing. you have to keep busking. And I didn't want to work at Woolworths.
So when did you first hear the demo for Dance Monkey?
I never heard a demo. She came into the studio and played me the song, how she played it. And then it was sort of our job in the studio to make it, I guess, like radio friendly. It's just about that bass drop, making sure that it was not too straight, that it's really swung.
We set up Dance Monkey and we're going to release it. And I was like, look, maybe it's just a live track. Maybe it's just a banger live. Maybe it doesn't do as well as Johnny. And I was trying to just keep expectations in check.
Dave said to me that don't be upset if this song doesn't live up to Johnny Runaway, because that song is probably more of a radio hit, which is apparently everything that matters these days.
Now she forever tells the story that this is the song that my manager Dave said was probably not a radio song, and it's like the biggest song in the world right now.
Todo el mundo está disfrutando ya de este tema llamado Dance Monkey.
In Australia, it's broken the record of any female artist ever, any Australian artist ever, and any song at number one the most consecutive weeks.
A lot of songs become big in Australia. Some of them cross over to the UK and other European countries, but not all of them can make the leap to America. Like, what does it mean for your song to break in the US? Is that meaningful to you?
That is like another whole universe in itself. It's like breaking the US is like re-releasing Dance Monkey again to the world.
Yes! Come on! US debut, man. That's the way to do it.
Do you ever feel guilty that the song that helped you make it is sort of complaining about the very thing that helped you make it?
No, I'm writing it about the girl that knocked over my keyboard and the guy that tried to steal my money and the two guys that were literally yelling out, again, 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 right in my face, and the guy that walked past me and said, you're f***ing shit, all in like 30 minutes.
Have you been back to busk since Dance Monkey hit number one?
It's very hard to do. I want to dress up as old Tones from the Dance Monkey film clip and go and busk.
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. Oh, 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 oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, yeah.
People ask me how I feel. I get a little bit frustrated because I don't know how I feel. But like sometimes I have those small moments when you're driving in your car on your own and you just think to yourself, holy shit, I have the most streamed song in the world right now.
I got the horses in the back.
The debt I owe, gotta sell my soul. 'Cause I can't say no, no, I can't say no. Man, what's the deal? Man, I'm coming through. It's your girl, this hoe.